Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
All right, ready?
Shema, Yasha'Allah,
Yahawah, AHLAHAYANAWA, Yahawah, Echad.
Shema, Yasha'Allah,
Yahawah, AHLAHAYANAWA, Yahawah, Echad.
Shema, Yasha'Allah,
Yahawah, AHLAHAYANAWA, Yahawah, Echad.
Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahashem QADASH, AHLAHYAMLA, AHLAHAYANAWA, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, Bahashem QADASH.
Double honors
Double honors
to the apostles and elders and bishops of TMS. Much to respect to the Akim for our ladies' work. Shalom. To you believers, to the Akim Aqua, to you brothers and sisters, truth. And as always,
THAWADAH, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, for the QADASH.
giving thanks to our power for the Holy Spirit that gives us the understanding of the wisdom and knowledge of the Holy Scriptures and faith whose names of power. Alright, so Lord willing, blessing is edifying. How you know, as always, we have again to experience power on the side. As always, the theme of prophecy. So today's lesson, we went into further vision about that they would take a trouble, that MOTB around that time frame, for the tribulation, our temptation, pretty much, right? You know, we're going to talk about
How the dream started was in front of my place, apartment, or somewhere. I was outside, and these vans came up saying that anybody that does not have the Paradma, that you have to go with them. And they said you have to go with them time now, like urgently. Like they wanted you to be on that damn bus quicker than ever. So, you know, I agreed. Whatever, you know, went on a little van. As we're approaching, you know, I'm over here thinking we're just gonna building or facility. It looked like a whole damn compound. Like for you ex-military brothers, you know what I'm talking about. Like FOB, it literally looked like a built up city or a built up, you know, FOB, you know, forward operating base. Just like
that part in your dream, in your vision, we said about the whole like, vehicle and they took you to the vehicles.
Yeah, it's like a white van.
Like a white van.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what you did in that vision, what you pretty much agreed with your varsity quickly. You agreed with them, right? You want to get that down. You want vision. You know, we want to bring out the scriptures to prove that that you know what the brothers be seeing in their dreams is actually prophetic. You know, it goes into that in the book of Joel, and I think in chapter 2, verse 28, 29, where it says like a power of the Holy Spirit upon all flesh. They shall dream dreams, you know, the son shall prophesy, paraphrase, right? So, you know, that's what the brother had, you know, the brother had a dream. The brother even had a dream within a dream, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, you got it.
But, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, while thou art in the way of while thou art in the way with him. And any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison.
And so that's what the brother in his vision, that's what he saw. He was being cast into these after he agreed with their varsity quickly, he agreed with the truth to enter the vehicle, to go to the place what you saw in your vision, right? After arriving to the place in your vision, you saw what you saw. It looks like it was like a camp, a prison.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go into it.
So like, now when we got there, it was rows and rows and rows of fucking vans, right? A lot of vans at this gate, and you know, I'm assuming it's kind of like the same thing. You show your credentials to get in the base or whatever. But that's what happened. Went in, and for the, you know, again, you know, for the veteran brothers, you know, the ex-military brothers, you know, it kind of looked like, you know, one of those boot camp type of things where they were like, get off the bus. You know, they were forcing us to get off, you know, pulling people off the bus, you know, pushing you to go to a certain direction. You know, I was I was running to that one spot that they had me, going to, and there was an Edomite lady, and she had a clipboard and a microphone saying, for all the people that just got off of this bus or this whatever, your designated location is here. And what it looked like was a big ass fenced in cage with a bunch of cots, and it was outside, literally. That's all it was. Hot with a blanket, and not no warm blanket either. Those nasty fucking feeling ones. Get in like, you go to basic, that linen.
Oh yeah,
there was one of those.
The linen, what they call it, the fucking linen sheets.
Yeah, linen sheets. That's
linen
sheets. The green that has the US on it.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, that's what it looked like. And it was rows of them. Roughly 25, maybe 30 in one cage. It looked like a cage where you put animals. Let's put it that way. And that's how they were treating us. They're starting to pack us into that cage. They're pushing us in there, and then they made us line up in front of the cots and lines, and they're basically going up and down and saying, you're here for a reason, blah blah, because you haven't taken the paragma, and basically this is why you're here. You're either gonna take it, and if you do not agree to take it, then you're gonna be shot on sight. You're gonna be killed on sight. And meanwhile, I'm like, oh, I'm not trying to take that. They're like, well, you're gonna be killed then. So then I pretended. I was like, all right, cool, whatever, I'll take it. I was like, but let me go use the bathroom real quick. Like, I just gotta use the bathroom. And the lady believed me, and she said, you're gonna leave the cage that I was in and go down the street, basically to the right, and there will be a white building in there, and I'll be able to use the bathroom. Didn't even give me no escort or anything. Just told me to go down there. And I saw a few people, that were just walking around by themselves too. But it was weird. Like, there was a bunch of cages. I went, I ran to that building, and then I met up with a Jake, and I was telling him, I was like, hey, I was like, we shouldn't be here. We got to get out of here. And then instantly, before I finished talking to him, I felt like I had a vision within the dream. It was weird. Instantly, it was like, yes, you need to get out. You need to leave here. What they're gonna do to you, you can't come back from. You need to leave this place now. You need to leave now. And then I came back to it. I was talking to the Jake. He was like, what happened? I was like, man, we gotta get out of here. They're gonna kill us, bro. I was like, we gotta get out of here. He was like, nah, I can't. I got a family to worry about. I don't want them to kill me. I got mouths to feed. He's worried about that shit. But at the end of the day, it was like, the spirit came up to me, just leave him. I left. I went into the building, and I told him straight up that I wasn't gonna take it. I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm not taking it. And I ran into the building. But he alerted someone that, oh, that guy that ran in there, he said he's not gonna take the thing, that paragma. And I remember looking around for the bathroom, but I couldn't see it. And that Edomite guard that came in after me, he was saying, I know that you said that you're not going to take the C hit. He knows that I'm not going to take it. He was like, and he knows that I'm in there. He knows that I was hiding. And I was hiding, and I saw him walk by, and I ran to ran down the hall, ran into like another little like a closet space looking type thing. And I was like hiding there too. And then he said it again, if I find you in here, I'm gonna kill you myself. So literally, I opened up the closet area again, and I went to like a window area, and I opened it up and walked out of it, or jumped out of it, and closed it. And I remember being in the back of the building, and as I'm in the like in the middle of the back of the building. So I went up to see what was at the corner, and there was two guards looking at me. So I pulled back and tried to see what's on the opposite end of that building. So I ran down there, and it looked like a group of guards, and they all looking over here too. I was like, oh shit. So I had ran back to the same position that I was at, and I ran to the opposite side of the end of the building. And the two guards that were looking my way, they were actually facing the opposite way. I was like, damn, this is my chance. So I started running. I ran across the it looked like parallel streets. Like, you got two lanes that are going the opposite direction, and two lanes coming your direction. It looked like a highway kind of where I was. I had to run across that. And as I'm doing that, you know, people are getting alerted that I'm running, and they're actually shooting at me. So as I'm running, you know, I'm over here like laughing. It's so weird. I don't know why I was laughing, but I was running and I was laughing like, oh shit, like, you know, they're actually shooting at me. You know, so I go behind this building, and as I'm at that one, I have one more building to go until I exit of that compound. So literally, I have the advantage because I have the cover and concealment. They don't. They're out in the open. So I'm running. You know, they're shooting still. Now, as I get to the gate is in the open, and there's like these concrete wall barriers that are there. And as I'm trying to like go and cut through the middle of it, literally last minute, it looked like 3 or 4 bullets hit where my head was, and I moved last minute, and I went through, and I was able to escape. And that's when the dream ended right there. That was literally it.
Definitely sounds like Jacob trouble, the great tribulation. Definitely the time of the hour temptation. You know, the very times that, you know, our elders, apostles, bishops, that they hope to elect and call them down. We deeply desire to enter in already, man. All hell is great fucking news, man. Right, the times where our faith is being tried, so we can prove our faith. See how much, you know. But if you want, you can get the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 28, 29. Yeah, you know, we're in a time where many people are having the spirit of Yahawah, you know, poured into them, receiving dreams, receiving visions of what is soon to come to pass, right? Israelites, you know, the heathen nations, right? But you got a lot of our brothers and sisters receiving visions of, you know, Jacob's trouble, YAHAWASHI is soon to return, period. All hell breaking loose. You know, brothers even got children that's prophesying their dreams, you know, to the brothers, and the brothers will do lessons on it. You know, we're definitely in that time.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 28 and 29. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit unto all flesh, and my sons and your daughters, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit.
So, you know, to the brother right here himself, you know, you can say he's that young man that had received a vision. He received a revelation of the time we're fastly approaching. You know, Jacob's troubled, our temptation, the problem being mandatory. He damn bills come down with great wrath. He's going to make war with the woman and remember her seed, right? Revelation 12, 10 verse 17, right? And the list goes on. Jacob's trouble, right? So we already brought out Matthew 5 and 25, where it says agree with your adversity, with dying adversity quickly, right? That's what you did in your vision, you know. When they gave you an order, you know, to get inside the vehicle so they can take you to the place you agreed, you know, they took you there. And then when you got there, you was in that spirit of be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You know, you was harmless, right? You was wise as a serpent. You told old girl, hey, I need to use the bathroom. You was harmless about it, but you was wise, like, hey, I need to use the bathroom. But really in your mind, you was planning on fucking escaping.
Oh yeah.
Right? So you can get that Matthew 10, verse 16 and 17 from I'm thinking. Right there, I'm thinking. Yeah, you can read 16. Because if you go a little more down, it talks about how, like, you know, you're gonna be brought to the synagogues, these councils. You know, you can look at these synagogues and councils as, you know, youth camp, these detention centers, places where you're gonna be tortured at if you refuse to take that progma. So, you know, pretty much that's where you went. If you think about it, that's where you went to. You were delivered to the councils, to these places where people who don't take the progma, torture and kill that, or those who apply, they're going to receive that charagma at that station. So yeah, but why you get verse 16?
All right. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
And that's in his vision. He was that sheep that was in the midst of wolves. All those troops, mostly all those troops was mostly Edomites, you said, right?
Yeah. Literally, that was another thing too that I saw, which is odd, but at the end of the day, I'm not surprised. That all the guards that were there, all Edomites. And the woman that was getting, barking at me basically with the megaphone was another Edomite woman. As I went into that other building to use the bathroom, it was Edomite man that was looking at me, Edomite guard. So everybody there in the compound, I guess you want to call it, was clearly Edomite. But, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
And that's what the brother did, He was wise as a serpent. He was harmless as a dove. He tricked old girl, having her believe that he had to go use the bathroom, the toilet, the head, whatever you want to call it, just so he can find a way to escape, to get out of there, to be delivered out of the hands of the enemy.
Because there, I told her I wasn't gonna take the fragment.
Oh, yep.
And she was like, oh, well, you're gonna be put to death then. And I was like, all right, man, I'll take it. I just gotta use the bathroom. She's like, yeah, okay, well, the bathroom is in that building.
Good.
Went to the bathroom, and I left.
Hey. Like it says, Isaiah 33 and 6, like wisdom, knowledge, ability at that time. When you think of that, for an example, like let's say, for example, your dream, right? Say, a brother is put in such predicament, precepts start coming to mind, like, okay, what comes to mind? What comes from, okay, say 33 and 6, like wisdom, knowledge, ability at that time. Okay, so what else? What other precept comes to mind that's going to help me be stable at this very moment, this event that I'm going through? Like, for example, you told a chick that you ain't gonna use it for problem, but then she told you that if you don't take it, you're gonna die. You're like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna take it, but let me go use that, right?
Yeah.
What precept came to mind? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. All right, I'm gonna seem harmless, and I'm just gonna, act kind of use the bathroom in a harmless way. Really, in the back of your mind, you trying to fucking escape. Okay.
Really, that it's funny because I used to do shit like that in like junior high, especially if I was taking a test.
Shit, even in the military.
Oh yeah, even in the military, I used to just want to get away from motherfuckers or from doing all the bullshit work. It'd be like, yeah, I gotta use the bathroom. I mean, just dip, but I used to get told like, oh, the bathroom down there. And that's how I felt like it was literally like a predicament, like how I used to actually deal with shit in real life. So funny.
So you mentioned how to right before you agree that you're gonna take the ship, right? Mm-hmm. So you can use so you can have time to use the bathroom, have time to escape. Right before that, you say you will die, right?
Yeah, so you're gonna be you're gonna be killed on sight.
Gonna kill on sight. It's like, so now we want to read the book of Revelation, chapter 13, but 15 down to 15, 16.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 15 through 17. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right? So in his vision, in the brother's vision, it was definitely at the time where these devils finally had decreed an unrighteous decree. They finally had power to give life onto the image of the beast. They have power to where those who don't take that charagma are going to be put to death. If you don't take that RFID chip, you're going to be put to death. All right.
Verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
So that mark was some of the charagma, the strong D5480. The definition I'm familiar with is, pretty much is a badge of servitude. Servitude, similar terms would be slavery, enslavement, bondage, subjection. So when you take that charagma, you are going to be completely owned. You're going to be a possession to these Edomites, so-called white people. Starting with the Baker family, the RAWCHAA family, Amalekites, right? You're going to be a possession onto them. You're going to be a possession onto our oppressors. You're going to be a possession onto the wicked, the sons of the wicked. Okay, and if you take that progma, you will be put to death, whether you take it or not, right? If you don't have this head of Yahawah Basham Yahawashi dwelling with you, right? If you don't have the Yahawah Yahawashi with you, and you don't take the progma, or you do take it, you'll be put to death. Right? There's only one way out of this, and it's through Yahawah Yahawashi. Right? So yeah, that sounds definitely like that Revelation chapter 13, is at it's fully at its peak of it, right?
And literally, real quick, if I may add, in the dream, right? She was saying we were there for a reason, because since we were outside of the town that didn't have power, I also forgot to add that. That's why I was outside. We had no power, and everybody else was outside too, and we also didn't have the progma. Now, the fact that we were outside, we had no power, and we didn't have the progma, the vans were actually coming up and down the street collecting people. And they were saying, if you don't have the C hip, that, yeah, you need to come onto this bus, this van. You need to come in here, time now. So, we did that, went on the bus, went to the compound, and the lady was shouting out, as they were taking us off the bus, going into these cages, they're like, yeah, you're here for a reason. Because you don't have, the C hip, you're going to have an opportunity to either take it or deny it. Now they're saying that if you deny it, you're going to be killed on sight. So,
did he also mention how, I think he mentioned earlier too, how like they had a line of people who refused to take it and they were gunned down?
Oh yeah, it was they were doing death by firing squad. Literally, it was literally like on a mountain, or like a hill, and they were just all standing there, I guess blindfolded or whatever, and they're all like tied up in the back of their hands, and they were just standing there, and then literally you just see a bunch of black uniformed troops just mowing them down, and then after them they would have another group go, and they would all get put down on a line. They would stand there, and mow them down too. That's how it was.
It's like a live firing range.
Yeah.
And they have actual live targets, pretty much. Right?
Target.
So, that's the time we're coming into, man. These devils about to come down with a great wrath. Good, great wrath.
And that's all because they said no. I want to take it.
If you want, you mentioned earlier, remember when you met that Jake at the bathroom and you told him like, hey, we should leave. We got to leave right now. He snitched on you pretty much. He was saying how like Jake said like he has to take it just so he can be able to provide for his family.
One, he was basically saying, nah, I ain't trying to die. I got mouths to feed. I got a family. I ain't trying to die. I'm gonna take it.
Just to get that book of Matthew chapter 16 verse 25. He that saved his life shall lose it. That's what that guy did, pretty much. The guy, he tried to save his own life, but eventually he's gonna lose it.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 26. Lucky, verse 25. Whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it.
That's what that guy did. That Jake, he was like, I gotta take it, this and that, blah blah. Pretty much to save his own ass. But yeah, to save his own ass. But if you do agree to take that, that C hip, this scripture that goes into what happens to those who does bow down to the C hip. Okay. All right. But yeah, that's an example of there. He tried to save his own life, not knowing that he's only going to lose it. Okay. Let's see. That definitely sounds like the hour temptation too.
Yeah.
If you think about it, right? What Revelation 3 and 10. And it also sounds like I think two intent. Fear none of those things. So if you want, you can get both. You can get both.
Okay. I'm gonna it's like this is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. For ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life.
So, for the sincere Akim out there that may find themselves being put in that actual position of a predicament where you actually put at the Q camp, right? You may be tried for a certain amount of days. 10 days is just, a complete number of days. It can literally be for a day or two, a week, a month. We don't know how long your tribulation is going to be when you're cast into the prison, but you're going to be tried there for a certain amount of period, right? But you always got to keep in mind that, of scriptures, think of what, hey, Yahawashi said this, if I do this, hey, this is going to happen to me. If I do this, I'm going to be delivered. If I do this, my Lord is going to do this. You got to constantly, have the scripture, pretty much, play over in your head. It's stable in those times. Okay? It says, "I cast you into prison, that tribulation 10 days, be faithful unto death, and I give you the crown of life." So, hey, if it happens to where you literally got to die to be a witness for Yahawah, hey, you literally just earned your crown of life. Okay? You completed your task, your course. Okay? Good.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon the earth, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth.
So the hour of temptation is when that Quran becomes mandatory, right? Based off of your dream, your vision, how the way how you told it, it looked like because you kept the word of the patience, right? You were kept from the hour of temptation. You escaped, right?
Yeah,
you managed to escape. You got out because what? You kept the word patient, right? And because of that, hey, you were kept in our temptation. Our power made a way for you to escape from the councils, from prison, from the Q camp, right?
And honestly, at the end of the dream, I was scarcely safe. Those bullets were so close to my face. It's crazy.
You definitely gotta get the scripture too. Said the righteous have been scarcely saved. So definitely get that. While I'm looking for that, you can go into let's see. Let me get Psalms. Matter of fact, go Isaiah 41 to 14. I'm gonna get that. The righteous have been scarcely saved. These are First Peter. It's gonna be Isaiah 41 and 14. Yeah.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel.
Oh, right. So it says, "For I, the Lord Yahawah, thy power, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee." Right? I will help thee. Now check this out, verse 14, right? It says, "Fear not, thy worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel." So it's talking about both of the kingdom, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom Israelites. The northern kingdom, the southern kingdom consists of the Judites, the Benjamites, the Levites, which is the so-called black, so-called West Indian black, and the Haitians, so-called Haitians, and then the northern kingdom, which is led by the tribe of Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans. The northern kingdom consists of mostly the so-called Hispanics and so-called Latinos, but you also got the Reubenites and Gadites. Gadites would be the so-called Native American Indians, and the Reubenites would be the so-called Seminole Indians, right? So our power, he's talking to both, talk to the entire nation. So the end of the kingdom, like, hey, fear not, okay, now, okay. It says here, "Fear not, thy worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee," said the Lord, because it's been capitalized, right? And right, so Again, it says, I will help thee, said the Lord Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. So it's talking about Yahawashi as well too. So our Heavenly Father is telling us that not only He's going to save you, but also our Redeemer, His only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior, YAHAWASHI Mashiach. Okay. Oh yeah, let me get the first. I think I found when you was talking about how like you said like you like skirts escape, like the bullets were just like so fucking close to your face.
Yeah, like I felt the wind. Telling you.
I think it's yeah, it's pretty much
Oh,
based on
yeah.
it's in First Peter. So First Peter chapter 4 verse 18. All right.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
So scarcely slaves. So I keep saying slave. What the fuck? Scarcely saved, right? So pretty much, you know, that was like pretty much like a close call death. Pretty much, you know, if that bullet would literally hit his face somewhere, that shit probably would have hit his brain, and you know, he probably would have died on sight. He probably would have died, but he was saved just by like a hair of an inch. But just you can just you most likely know what it sounds like when a bullet.
Yeah, ricochet.
You can hear that whisper. It's like death. Like death is whispering in the air. Like you can hear that shit. that's the elect being scarcely saved. And it says, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? So let's say it was a 2/3 that experienced that bullet would boom right in that motherfucker's face.
Hell yeah.
All right, boom, got him, or her too. Because mind you, the 2/3 that's going to be put to death, that's going to die, is mostly women. Because mostly it's more women than are men. So it's going to be a lot more women that's going to die. Okay. Let's see. You want to get that Psalm 18? You were pretty much delivered from a strong enemy. You don't have the spiritual power at the moment. I'm guessing.
No, I did.
17 to 19. Okay.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 17 through 19.
Deliver me from my sorry, He delivered me from my.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to start at 17?
Yeah.
The book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 17 through 19. He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them that hated me, which hated me. For they were too strong for me.
So the strong enemy is going to be like the troops, Esau, Edom troops, the damn EU troops, the dark satanic awakening GMO fire engineers, soldiers and shit, super soldiers, the damn heathen nations, right? Their troops, and it says, and they that hated me, the 2/3, perfect example, the Jake, he snitched on you.
Yeah.
If that Jake cared about you, he wouldn't have snitched on you. So in other words, he pretty much hated you. He snitched you out.
Yeah. Verse 18. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI was my stay.
Ooh.
Verse 19. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me.
And if I'm mistaken, in your vision, you said there was like one more place you had to go to.
Yeah, towards the end.
Building, yeah. And you was pretty much, saved after that. You were delivered, right? So he brought you into that. It says he brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. So in the vision, it sounds like our power took delight in the hot, and he brought him to a large place. He was delivered. He was delivered from the prison, from Q camp, from the enemies, from danger, okay, from evils. All right. And we can pretty much get one more to close out. One says, "Take cheerfully." Because remember how you said you was laughing when it was shooting at you?
Yeah, it was weird.
It's like
it was like I was surprised and shocked. Like, oh, it's happening to me. Damn, they shooting at me.
It's like like for example, like like growing up, you played tag, or you know, you doing some hood ratchet
Yep.
shit, something that you're not supposed to be doing. You know, you're doing it with your childhood friends, but you know, like let's say for example, you know, you're throwing eggs at cars and you accidentally hit a cop car.
Yep.
And now a police officer is probably chasing you in the car, and you're like pretty much like in a time of danger, but you're laughing because you got all that adrenaline running, like oh shit, the cop chases, oh
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
oh shit. It's just pretty much like that.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Right. So, you know, for an example, right, the brother he getting you know shot at, you know,
Yeah.
he took it cheerfully because he understood through the spirit and power Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI of what he was involved in. He understood like, okay, you know, scripture states how, you know, I'm gonna be hated of all men for my name's sake. You know, the great persecution, you know, and you know, you look, you know, took it cheerfully. You know, you was thankful. Hey, you know, I'm pretty much found worthy to go through such things.
Yeah.
There's this scripture that goes into that too, from the thinking how like, I think one of the apostles, I think Apostle Paul, it was someone, but pretty much goes into how like, you know, whenever you find yourself in hell, going through things, you know, take for cheerfully because you counted worthy to go through such things. Right? Yeah.
I wanted to bring this point to John.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, the actual come to the world.
Oh yeah,
This is the book of John, chapter 16, and verse 33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace.
So the things that he has spoken unto you, what is everything that he has revealed unto you, like it says in Amos 3:7. I do nothing but reveal the secrets unto the servant prophets, paraphrasing. And what's you know, one of the many things that our power has revealed onto the servant prophets, you get trouble. You know, your enemies are going to come down with great wrath because you are a believer of your house. You're going to Q camp, they're going to shoot at you. There's going to be all hell break loose, Jacob's trouble. Okay.
In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world.
So what the brother had went through in that dream, that's a tribulation. But he took it what? Cheerfully. He took it cheerfully. He's laughing like you gotta have a certain kind of spirit on you where you got men shooting or troops shooting at you live rounds, but you laugh. It's like you're having a good time that you're being shot at. Right? Yeah, you know, take it cheerfully because you were counted worthy to go through such trials and afflictions, such tribulation. Okay? Right? So hey, Lord willing, let's do edifying.
YAHAWAH RATAZA.
And we're gonna close out by giving much due, all praises, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM YAHAWAH.
double honors
Honor
to the apostles, elders, and bishops, DMS. Much respect to the Akim for our labor and work. Shalom.
One.
To you believers, to the Akim or Aqua, to you brothers and sisters, Christ is the truth. As always,
DTA Abad the Ball soon. Kwam Yasharala.
hey, for any Akim out there, get Akim. If you have a dream, revelation, you know, feel free to, you know, express it, talk about it. But, you know, you're supposed to do that too, if I'm not mistaken. If I knew that exact scripture, I would have brought it. It's there somewhere. It's there, but it's not there. But like, you know, if you've been revealed, if you receive like a revelation, you're supposed to, you know, bring it out pretty much. Okay, you know, bring it out, share it to the flock, people. Hey,
Shalom.